Are you listening?
What's up, everybody? On today's episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast, we got a couple confessions to make or to read or whatever you want to call that. We also have some relationship advice to answer. We're going to talk a little bit about Luke Cage Season 2, Serena in the Catsuit, and more. Stay tuned. This episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 102 of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. I'm Jared.
I'm Jay.
And we're back at it again. Man, Jay, what a week. What a week. How was your week? Busy?
Too busy.
Yeah.
That's about all I can say, man. Too busy at work, too busy at home. Weekend, supposed to be for relaxation, but nope. Busy. How about you?
Busy. Man, it was busy at work as well, man. It's just life a little crazy this week. But overall, it was a good week. I'm going to tell you one thing that was great. Two things that were great. So two things. So did the farmers market things for Hooks, Rubs, and Spices.
Yep.
Our first sponsor, who also sponsors a couple other podcasts, the Random Ramblings with Rob podcast, as well as the Whatever Man podcast, and about to extend another sponsorship to another podcast very soon. Haven't let them know yet, but I'll let them know soon. Anyway, so I took them to the farmer's market, took Hooks, Rubs, and Spices to the farmer's market to sell it. And the good thing was, y'all, sold out of Smoking Sweetness. That's the fan favorite. Sold out of Mad Cow. That is the second fan favorite. I'm going to tell you what, y'all, that it's sold out with maybe like about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to go in the market. So
cool.
It was a good day.
Do you cook some meat, or you have to have like a special some type of license to cook stuff, right?
Special license, yeah, and that's the thing. I didn't want to put up the money for the special license and the headache, really, because it's just, I'm telling you, it's just so much extra stuff you got to do just to be able to do that. So for now, no, I didn't do that. But what I normally do is I have little sampler containers out and, little sample shakers out. And I just basically shake them onto some popcorn in a little tiny, shot glass cup. Shake it up a little bit and, let people taste that as their tasters. So that normally works. It was really good. Had some cool conversations with some cool people. Met a couple of people there who were pretty interesting from different parts of the country. So it was dope. It was a good time. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, after I sold out of both of those, after I sold out of the Mad Cow and the Smoking Sweetness, and, other people came after, I still had the samplers out. Mm-hmm. So I just shook them up and let them taste them, just so they could taste it. And they were either going to come back to see me the next week, or they were going to go on my website. And so when they went on the Hooks Rubs website, I told them to use the 3R Show promo code, or I told them the Whatever Man Pod, promo code to get that percentage off on an order. So if you guys want to get yourself some Hooks Rub, go to Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, all spelled out, right? Hooks, Rubs, and Spices.etsy.com. And you know what you could do? You can get yourself some Hooks Rub. Use one of those codes, either 3R Show or Whatever Man, and that'll give you 10% off on your order. So it's pretty dope. But yeah, so I wrote down the code for some people. Some people put it in their phone. So yeah, man, we'll see. If those orders come in, I'll be able to send them, and then, we'll be able to actually also, treat and what is the word? We'll be able to reward. There you go, reward the sponsored. Those who are sponsored. So yeah, that's a good thing. So that was one cool thing. Then right after that, we hustled over to the football field. It was my son's first flag football game of this season. The rules got crazy. The rules changed, but I'm going to tell you what, man. It's a 5-on-5 league now. No blocking. Basically just a bunch of passing and a little bit of running, on offense, and like no blitzing on defense within a certain barrier. It's a bunch of craziness, but I'm going to tell you what, man, my team went out there and they stomped the Seahawks. It was dope. So
that's cool.
Good job on all fronts. Jackson played well defensively. Offensively, he had a fumble, but when you fumble the ball, they just sort of stop the play right there. So, he had a good run on offense, but he made a fumble. And then he was inches away from making a great catch in the end zone, for a touchdown or a 2-point conversion. But I think the final score was something like 45-28 or something. So
nice.
It was a good game.
That's dope.
Yeah, but other than that, the week was whatever. It's over with. I was just too busy watching Nicki Minaj dog out Travis Scott for, making a smart marketing move before his CD or before his music came out. So that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. She's been going at quite a few people this week. So
yeah.
But
like, what is she on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's her problem?
I mean, it's just I think it's like part jealousy because her album isn't doing what it was, what she wanted it to do, and I guess Cardi B kind of took her spot, if you will, because she had like one of the top albums of the summer. So. And I think that was a little bit of shade thrown at right before these VMAs. Like I think Nicki had said something to the effect like thinking that Cardi kind of like paid her way to get to this particular point in her life, like paid her fans. Or I mean, you can't really pay your fans like that. You can only
maybe Cardi slept her way to that position.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, but it just seems like a lot of jealousy coming from Nicki's part. It shouldn't even. She's worried about her numbers, and I don't know. For me personally, I don't even think it should even be about the numbers. If you're an artist, you should do your art. Forget the numbers. Yeah. If you do your art to the best of your ability, the numbers are gonna come. If you put out a good product, I thought her album was trash. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I don't care particularly like Nicki. I thought it was trash, but whoever likes it. Subjective. Yeah. So whatever. Work on your craft. If your craft is good, people will come.
Yeah, I gotta say this, man. Just like you said, when you're the artist, it should be, it should definitely be about the art, especially for people in, the realm of Nicki Minaj, who, has, I guess, made millions of dollars, doing this over the course of time. Now she's at the point where she could, pretty much, make an album how she wants to make it. She doesn't have to be locked down to the labels. Initial first couple album standards, that are out there. And then the other thing is, man, you made all this money, you made all these albums, you're still, one of the most highly recognized rappers in the game, in the female rappers in the game. You still have your legion of fans, Barbie dolls or whatever they call them. I don't know what they call them, but so really at this point, why should it matter? You didn't debut at number one. Okay, great. You're still going to do numbers, if that's what you're about, you're still going to make money. You need to talk to your own, your own marketing team, talk to Drake, talk to Lil Wayne, whoever it is that decides, how your launch campaign goes. You need to talk to them about why they didn't say, hey, let's get some merchandise out there. Hey, let's send this to let's have some of the artists that we rock with, or maybe some of those quote unquote social media influencers, who we rock with, to go out there and, promote this album before it comes out. Nikki, I'm gonna tell you what, Nikki, you messed up. When you messed up, when did you mess up? Is when you decided to put Tekashi 6ix9ine on, one of your songs, make a pre-release video of that. That was your problem. You need to talk to your people about that, and you need to talk to yourself about putting Tekashi 6ix9ine on there because, at this point, he is probably not the one that you want, on anything that you're putting out there just because of his, child scandal and all the rest of the stuff he got going on.
But then that's actually kind of sort of the smart move because you got all eyes on Tekashi, and now you see Tekashi in the video. So
yeah. I guess the other thing is people will watch him because of who it is, right? Just to see it, and there's going to be people watching it on both sides, saying they hate him, and saying they like him, and questioning it and not. So your name will be in people's mouths. But seriously, like, you sold your soul to the devil to do that. So it is what it is. So and then but with all that stuff said, man, I mean, Nikki really should be ashamed of herself. Sometimes you talk and sometimes you just sort of let it flow out there. You know what I'm saying? And let it go until it's time to talk. And I think that was one of those times for her. So
yeah, it's just been a bad week for her. Just a bad week for her. So.
Yeah. So whatever, man. Screw that. I thought it was just sort of a slightly average, release for her. And not saying Travis Scott's was anything better. Because I'm telling you, man, being from Houston, if you're from Houston, Texas, or if you've ever been to Houston, if you ever went to Houston, Texas years ago in the 80s and 90s and any time before, the Astro World, was the Six Flags down there, even early 2000s. Astro World was the Six Flags down there. It was a one-of-a-kind type of place. And people, came from miles around because they really didn't have anything like that, even though there was a Six Flags in Dallas as well. But I mean, it was a place. So, all the pub, all the hype, all the pomp and circumstance leading up to Astroworld, Travis Scott being from H-Town and representing, I expected a whole different album. And it was just, I mean, there's a couple of songs on there that are good, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It just didn't remind me of, what I thought it would be, but I don't know. It didn't really speak to me like I thought it would, with the title Astro, with all the promo that he did for it, etc. So some of the merch is cool. Which, I think is pretty cool, but the album was okay. So there's just Travis Scott fans out there, just like there's Nicki Minaj, etc., fans. So.
Right. Yep. That's true. Yeah.
As I pour coffee on my desk. So whatever. All right. Well, the real thing we wanted to talk about this week to start off the show after that foolishness was the One's Gotta Go Wednesday. So this week, we're back on that Eddie Murphy train once again. I don't know why we decided just to stay on this train after we initially started on it, but it's sort of fun. It's fun hearing y'all's responses. And this week's One's Gotta Go. We actually did a One's Gotta Go Wednesday instead of One's Gotta Stay Thursday. And this week, Eddie Murphy classic stand-ups. The two that everybody always knows about, talks about, thinks about are Raw and Delirious. So, got a lot of feedback on Twitter. Got a lot of feedback on Instagram. So, Jay, do you have one of those posts pulled up?
Yeah, I have the Instagram post pulled up. It was unanimous across the board. Delirious was the one that had to go. Starting Five Podcast says we should slap ourselves for this one. It's like picking which child is best. So Brittany D. Byers, Delirious. Mirrors, Smoking Mirrors Pod, Delirious. Hooks Rubs, by Delirious. Gil B. Producing, Delirious. Woolon Talk, sadly Delirious. Ledge DVS says, don't make me do it, damn it. Then he says, Delirious. Sorry, I still love you. So, Delirious gotta go. Classic, classic Eddie. So, that would have probably been my choice too, so. Yeah,
I would, I would say Delirious got to go. Yeah, Raw is just too much, man. Too many great memories off of that. Now let's see here. Let me find our Twitter post from that because I had it queued up, and then I moved. Oh wow, Walmart, man. B-Rob just has too much stuff about Walmart. As I'm trying to find our Delirious, here we go. It looks like Walmart is entering the digital comics market. So, let's see here. So, one's got to go Wednesday. I think the only one that responded on there, was Whatever Man Pod. We had a lot of interactions on it, but Whatever Man Pod was the only one. He said, preferably I'd take the first half of Delirious and the second half of Raw, but if I got to choose, I think Delirious got to go. But I could be dead ass wrong. What do y'all got against Eddie? Why y'all keep picking on amongst the classics? Get rid of Holy Man.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, man. We ain't got nothing against Eddie Murphy. We just thought it would be a fun idea, a fun topic. And yeah, man, I think that, I would definitely kick Delirious to the curb. Hold on to Raw, just like we both said a little earlier. So thank y'all for the comments. I know that we talked about something else last week, or maybe it was a Denzel thing we talked about. I can't remember what we talked about, or maybe it was the best of the worst, or one's got to go or one's got to stay of Eddie Murphy's worst movies. So yeah, we might actually do that. For this next week coming up. So that was off of episode 101, the Confessions episode. So yeah, so we're going to move on to something else. So, normally right now, this is when we do the voicemails. We're actually going to hold on to the voicemail that we got because it's going to go into our confessions segment later on. Unless you want to do the confessions right now, Jay. It doesn't matter to me, man.
It don't matter. We could hold it off for later.
Okay, cool. So, confessions will be after the break, guys. So, hold on for that after the break. I just finally finished watching Luke Cage season 2. And I mean, I know you finished it probably like the day after it
was
launched,
released,
but
yeah.
I just been too busy and haven't been able to really sit down and really binge it like I wanted to. So finally finished that last night, and yeah, man. So we're gonna do a really quick like Luke Cage mini review before we go to our commercial break. So Jay, from what you remember, overall thoughts of the series, favorite new characters, all that stuff.
I mean, of course, favorite new character is the Bushmaster. I mean, I thought it was an okay season. I mean, sometimes Mike Coulter's acting gets me a little like, sometimes a little bit cringeworthy to me. Overall, it was a decent season. I mean, you see Mariah getting a little bit more and more sinister, if you will. I'm curious to know what's gonna happen in the next, if there's a next season. What's going to happen? What's going to occur? Kind of sad to see Rosario's character go.
Yeah.
But I guess it's all a part of the story. But yeah, I thought it was cool when the Bushmaster came in and he gave Luke a run for his money. So yeah. Overall it was a decent season. I still like Shades. I like Shades' character. I think he's a lot smarter than what everybody around him thinks. So, but I don't know, man. What did you think about it since you finished?
I'm gonna tell you this. So, season 1, I didn't really like Shades that much. Season 2, I did start to like Shades just because I could see his character grow in season 2. I could see where he was coming from. I could see where he wanted to go to, and then all the extra additions of him and I can't remember the guy's nickname now, but him and the guy that he was in jail with that they hooked up. While in jail.
That was like unexpected.
Their little mini weird love story. I mean, yeah, it was definitely unexpected, but it added an extra element, to the situation. It was weird. I don't know, man. Alfred Woodard's character was very good. We finally got to see Black Mariah really in her entirety, and so I thought that they brought her to a new good level, and they actually explained a lot more of her backstory with the Mama Mabel situation and how she hated her mom and all that stuff. Mike Coulter, he just basically was on the same level, but then obviously you saw him get, I don't know, he turned into like an angry good guy, you know what I'm saying? Like a bad guy, good guy, superhero at times, depending on what it was. So I definitely, like that. And then I was happy to finally see Misty Knight's arm. I was sort of shocked that they didn't keep in with the comics and make it like, more like chrome or silver looking, you know what I'm saying? Platinum looking, like it is in the comic, or titanium, whatever it is in the comics. They made it just black, which is fine because then, the way that this show is, I think it's great how, the writer of the show basically tries to mix in a lot of pop culture as it relates to, people of color, black people specifically, the history of black people being oppressed and just in America. And so I did like it because it was a black, bionic arm. And so anytime she made a fist, it sort of made me think of, the Fight the Power Fist, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And she also used that that fist to beat up the man, so I think there's a lot mixed into that. And I thought it was cool, after all. I don't know, man, there's a lot mixed into it, but yeah, overall, I thought it was good. I was very sad though at the end. And this is spoilers, by the way. I know we're like 3 minutes into talking to this already, but whatever. It's too late now. Y'all should have seen it by now.
Yeah, I'm sure they have.
But it's just me that's taking too long. I was very sad at the end when Luke told Claire to go away, told Rosario Dawson to go home. That's the good relationship for him. That's the one that could fix him, that gets him. She's his one. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she's also going to be the one who got away. Because if you know the comics, eventually he gets with Jessica Jones, has a baby with Jessica Jones. Yep. And, I guess marries her or something like that at some point in time. So maybe they'll mix that in. Maybe they'll mix that into the next Defenders or the next season of Jessica Jones. Maybe that's where that relationship will continue and they'll have more coffee together. Speaking of coffee, there's a lot of situations, excuse me, especially Italians, where they're like, would you like a cup of espresso? And you could tell, the girls were asking for a cup of espresso, what they was talking about. And,
it was funny when that old lady was like, would you like to come in for some coffee? And he was just like, I think I'll pass.
Nah. Yeah, exactly. I love them continuing the coffee joke. I thought that was pretty dope. And then the one, like the Italian mob lady, mob boss, who asked him if he wanted a cup of espresso, and he was like, nah, and I just don't like espresso. And she's like, well, nobody's ever made you a proper cup. And she gave him that look, and he just smiled and walked off. I thought that was pretty dope. It was good. The fight scenes were pretty good overall. I don't know, I'd say when they finally brought in Iron Fist, he actually looked a lot smoother than he had before, in fighting. Yeah. So I like this character a little bit more this time. They were sort of the heroes for hire for a little bit. Iron Fist and Power Man. And then I hadn't really gotten to Mustafa Shakir, who played Bushmaster. I think the man did a really good job. Especially being a new face on the scene. Really, you had never seen him or heard of him. In this big of a role, and I think he did a great job. He seemed big and imposing, when compared to Luke Cage. So he seemed like a good, matchup for him. His fighting skills were on point all the time. It was great to see that. The Jamaican accent for everybody, I don't know. I haven't been to Jamaica. I mean, I've been to Jamaica one time, so I haven't, really, had enough research of Jamaican accents. But I thought that they were good. Sometimes I thought that some characters didn't do that great of a job on their accent. But, I guess it's all dependent. But then again, like I said, I've only been there once. I've, only heard it, that limited amount of time. And I never really did any studies and never really did that accent, when I was doing stage work or on camera work. So I couldn't tell you how on point those were. But, I mean, they seemed pretty genuine. They seemed pretty... pretty good. So
yeah,
overall, man, it was okay. So this is my question for you. So after us seeing season 1 and how much we love that, and everything, and then season 2, really getting more deeper into the story, not just a bam in your face introduction. How many mics would you give this? out of what, 5 mics, right? How many mics would you give this?
I give it 3.5. 3.5, yeah. Close to 4, maybe 3.5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was just an average, season. Mm-hmm. I mean, just an average storyline. Nothing was really over a lot of the characters. Like, my favorite character out of both seasons was still Cottonmouth.
Yeah,
probably because Mahershala Ali just pretty much killed that character. So
yeah, he did.
I mean, of course, Afri Woodard, she's like pretty much a legend, if you will, and just an incredible actress. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just, of course, we see that whole story arc with her, and that's great to see. But of course, it's taken us two seasons to kind of
2 full seasons to get there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just an average season, man. I can't say no more from it. I mean, I just wish it was more for some reason. I don't know why I'm wanting. It's like I'm wanting more.
I feel you, man. I feel you,
but I'm just not getting it.
I feel you, man. And I would definitely give it 3 out of 5 too. It'll be an average for me. Just because, man, sort of like you said with the Alfred Woodard thing, we saw her storyline. I mean, they sort of featured her a lot more in this, and her family a lot more in this. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's got stale for me. I mean, to be honest, I mean, after like episode 5, I'm like, all right, come on, y'all got to kill this lady. You know what I'm saying? Or something's got to happen because I'm ready for this arc to be done so we can get on to something else.
Yeah. So now I'm like wondering how would it have been if they would have went with the Mariah from the new run of Power Man, the Power Man comics, Power Man and Iron Fist comics. Mm-hmm. Because she's like completely different in there. She's not like really this political type person. She's more of the I don't want to throw the word hood. I'll just say hoodish. She's very hoodish, very
Is she like
I don't like using this word. Something like that. I don't like using the word ghetto.
She more ghetto.
But
I'll use the word. Is she more ghetto?
Well, I mean, if it's the sense of what you're thinking, but I just don't like using that word ghetto. But what everybody else classifies as ghetto, they would probably call her ghetto. Yeah. So that's what I'd call her.
I gotta say this. I know that the two universes don't really cross over that much, other than little references here and there. Right. With a few lines here and there. But the cinematic universe versus the Netflix universe. After seeing Black Panther earlier this year, after seeing I guess the first time in was the first time we saw him in the Winter Soldier, not the Winter Soldier. What's the first time we saw Black Panther? It was Avengers: Age of Ultron.
No, it was in Infinity War. Not Civil War.
Civil War. There you go, Captain America: Civil War. I don't know why I said that. So yeah, after seeing Black Panther first in Civil War, and then him really doing his thing in Black Panther movie, and then making a really good comeback, amazingly, and disappearing into ashes in Infinity War. I gotta say, man, the black person in me had expected the writing of this to be super lit, like super amazing. Like I was really expecting Luke Cage to basically amp it up, because he brought it for the black people. He brought it for the black culture. In the first season, and and the writers and showrunners, everybody brought it. For the first season of that. After Black Panther being so successful, I'm like, man, they're gonna just make it. They're gonna go up and turn it to an 11 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
And it disappointed me on that level. I mean, to be honest, man, I don't know, man. I expected more. I think after seeing the first season of Luke Cage and then seeing all this Black Panther stuff, where Marvel is going with this, the fact that they're coming out with a new Shuri comic, there's a Misty Knight comic out there that's doing pretty well. And obviously, new runs of Luke Cage. I was hoping for something different, but hoping for something better. So I don't know, man. Maybe it's, I don't know. When you look at,
go ahead. No, I was gonna say, if you could change the character, if you could have any actor replace Mike Coulter and could kill that part, who you think could do it?
Oh, I don't have a problem with Mike Coulter. I just have more problems with writing.
Well, who do you think would write a better script? Who would you like to?
Black Panther. The writer for Black Panther. I think he'd write a better script.
It's possible. Yeah,
I think so. Because I keep getting these guys mixed up, because it's like the same. Like their names are the same, because isn't it Chioda Hidari Coker, right?
Cheo, yeah.
But then it's Ta-Nehisi Coates, right?
Yeah, Ta-Nehisi Coates. He did.
Black
I know he wrote for the newest couple runs of the Black Panther comic. Did he have any parts to do with the movie? I don't remember.
I'm 97% sure. I thought it was him. Let's see here. Ryan Coogler. My bad. I'm so sorry.
That's what I was figuring, because
that's what I meant.
Ryan Coogler wrote and directed it.
See, there's Coker, there's Coogler, and there's Coates.
Yeah,
all C names. So yeah, Ryan Coogler. I would have picked him. Even though I mean the writing on Luke Cage and the incorporation of New York, of Harlem, of the boroughs, of the interplay between the different, the different, black team, or the black, like the black communities there between like the regular American and then the Jamaican, and then adding in all the other nationalities to it. All the references to pop culture, to past history, to music, all that stuff was dope. Like that was all great, and it was all on point. But the script for it, the fact that I personally think it just went too long on the whole Mariah thing. They could have done that in 5 or 6 episodes instead of 13. I mean, in my opinion, I think that somebody else, probably should have just either Marvel should have said, "Come on, man, let's get to the point and let's go on to the beginning of another story arc," or something. Because if we remember Black Panther season 1, Cottonmouth died in episode.
Luke Cage season 1.
Dang, I did it. My bad. Black Panther season 1. Luke Cage season 1. Cottonmouth died episode 6 or 7? Like he died halfway through. Yeah. 5 maybe. So yeah, man. I mean, they've already set the precedent for doing it, so do it again. Let's get on with it, man. That's not saying that I didn't like Alfred Woodard's character. I thought that some of her stuff was too repetitive, but whatever. She did her thing. She's a legend. So I'm not shading that at all, but I'm just saying, move on in life. So whatever.
Yeah.
3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5. That's the hashtag blackout review of Luke Cage. Anything else you want to say on it?
I wish it was better.
Oh, okay, my bad. So this is one thing I did want to ask you back in return, because you asked me who I would pick to replace Mike Coulter. Who would you replace?
That's a good question. I have No clue. I mean, the first person, like, I thought just a big guy, a big tall guy.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker with the jacked up eye. Yeah,
Tay Diggs.
Who?
Tay Diggs.
Nah, bro. Come on,
Derek
dog.
Luke.
Derek Luke. You picking all these little short person. It's an alternate universe you thinking of?
Mekhi Phifer.
Dude, those dudes are little, man. I'd probably pick if I mean, initially when I thought about it, I was like, I wonder how Terry Crews would have did in this role.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
So
Crackdown himself.
Don't know. I mean, he's a big dude. His acting skills are pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it just feels like, and I know Mike Coulter had said he comes from like a theater background, so you could kind of see, I could kind of see that in his performances.
The theater emotes.
Those type of, I guess those type of things that come out. It's just completely different than I would say in a screenplay, because I'm trying to remember any other films that he's been in, and the only other one I could think of is this one I recently saw on Netflix. I can't remember the name, but it was like an alien invasion and had artificial intelligence and all this other stuff in it. He played like a small role, but I still felt like I was watching Luke Cage act, or perform.
I mean,
just
this
felt
is the
like
thing.
Luke Cage.
Yeah. I think
same thing with Girls Trip.
Girls Trip. Yeah. I think this is the thing. I think the thing for him now is he has cemented himself as Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Like just like Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, just like what's his name? Chris whatever Evans is when you look at him you think Captain America. Just like now Ryan Reynolds, when you look at him you think Deadpool, right? I think that's what you're gonna think. That's what you're gonna see. That's what you're gonna feel when he acts, on anything else.
But here's the crazy thing, though. Like when you say Ryan Reynolds, I could think of movies in the past where it's Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I could think of Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds has always been like Ryan Reynolds. He has that quick, sharp-witted, personality. Same thing when you was watching Waiting. You've seen Waiting before.
Yeah.
So his personality was always kind of like that. So he hadn't really, in all the movies he's been, casted in, or pretty much he's always this quick-witted person, this quick-witted character. Yeah, he's always the same. But, you had mentioned Robert Downey Jr. I mean, he hadn't really played many parts since getting Iron Man, but before, like in the past, some of the stuff like in the 80s and things like that, like I don't know if you've seen Less Than Zero or all that other stuff, all those movies from back then. His characters, he's a great actor, so you could tell the difference between all his parts back then.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this though, and that totally makes sense, but I'm gonna say this though. Now that we've seen him in Iron Man, the next thing he does that's not Iron Man, that's what you're gonna think Iron Man first until you see his character develop in whatever role that is that he's gonna play. That's the same thing with this guy. Even if you look back at Mike Coulter's old stuff, it's probably gonna be similar to this, but in the way he's acting. But you're still gonna see Luke Cage. Like what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, he pretty much plays the same guy. He just puts himself into a different role. But, if you see anything that's new from Ryan Reynolds after seeing Deadpool's, you're going to think a lot of Deadpool when he gets to some of his quips, to some of his jokes.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That's the thing. There's guys like Denzel, just to name one, which makes sense. Denzel, which you can't look at any of, obviously Denzel hadn't done a superhero movie, but you can't look at him from American Gangster and say that he was the same guy in Glory, or you can't look at him in, what is it? like the Equalizer and say he's the same guy from Remember the Titans. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just.
But it has to do with the story itself, though. I mean, it doesn't.
Well, if you put together like the Equalizer and Training Day.
Okay, two completely different stories, two completely different characters.
But you know, so what you're saying though was Mike Coulter in Luke Cage is just like he was in whatever that other show was. It's two different things.
No, it's two
different storylines, right?
Two different storylines, but I'm saying as far as the acting, his acting was the exact same. I mean, if like you said, Denzel, his acting is completely different, so he's able to put himself in each of those roles to fit that story. I'm saying with Mike Coulter, it just seems like he's the same person in every single film that he was in. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's not, and like I was talking about Robert Downey Jr., like in the past versus now, it just depends on what story, what type of script he's given, what kind of story it is, what kind of movie it is. Depending on his acting skills, which we know he's a great actor, he should be able to match whatever feeling that particular actor is going to give. Now, if the script has if the character was written to have the same type of personality as an Iron Man type character or a Tony Stark, then you're definitely going to see Tony Stark or Iron Man within that character. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Maybe I need to go and look at that other movie again just to see, you know, to actually understand, to see if it's the same type of character. Because I think you're trying to say sort of what I'm trying to say, just in a different way, or I'm trying to say what you're trying to say in a different way. Because, you know, if we go back to Ryan Reynolds, he's the same type of guy every time, right?
Yeah.
Even in Deadpool, would you compare his Deadpool character to any of his past roles?
Yep.
And he's like the same dude.
Yeah, he's the same
so
character.
Maybe that's one of those things where his acting is not, you know, he can't make those different arc jumps. You know what I'm saying? He can't make those different character jumps.
And then
you know,
of course,
some of these other guys. So
yeah, and of course I was saying, like, it just depends on the movie and the script. I mean, you compare all his movies; they're all pretty much the same, except for there was one he did with Denzel. I forgot the name. I think it was called Safe House, and there was little times in that movie that he was a little bit funny and I guess a little comical, but other than that, you know, it was just a decent role. I didn't see, of course that was before Deadpool, but I could still see the whole Ryan Reynolds, you know, deals with him, you know.
Yeah, understand. So let's see here. So Mike Coulter. Here we go. So this year he also released Extinction. Maybe that's the one you saw on Netflix.
I don't remember.
Let's see here. Just the title alone sounds like, you know, what you were talking about. So let's see here. TV series. Earlier this year he was in The Good Fight. He was also in American Dad. Played a character there. Let's go back. Obviously we know The Defenders. So let's see here. Girls Trip. Let's see here. Jessica Jones, The Good Wife. Okay, so he was in The Good Wife. I remember seeing him in that. He played like a lawyer. Let's see here. The Following, which was a TV series. Halo Nightfall, TV series. American Horror Story. Criminal Minds. Zero Dark 30. He was in that. Men in Black 3. He was in that.
Was he? I didn't remember.
Yeah, he was a colonel. Blue Bloods. It's a TV series. Salt. That one with, what's her name? Angelina Jolie. Royal Pains.
I don't remember.
Law and Order SVU. Let's see here. What else? A lot of Law and Order. There's $1 Million Baby. He was Big Willie Little, which is hilarious. The Parkers. He was in that, and ER. He was in that way back in the day. Yeah. So, I mean, he's had different roles and multiple roles. You know, some of them seem like they sound like they're right around the same. Some of them were definitely different. But yeah, man, you know, it's probably one of those things, you know, when you at some point in time while you're acting, you know, you have people who play parts the same way. You have people who play parts differently. You have people who, you know, can recognize their self and change who they are, you know, from role to role, can adapt. You know, it's all dependent on how you really how you were taught how to act in the first place, and
Yeah.
and what you bring to the character, depending on what school of acting that you sort of fell in. So yeah, man, I can see what you're talking about. How he seems, sort of like one note, if you will. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that. It definitely made sense. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I just like him too much.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I mean, he's not a terrible actor. I just think, I don't know, it's just some parts just feels, I don't know, man. It just didn't feel
like a robot.
It felt very robotish. It just didn't, I don't know, man. It just didn't sit right with me. I just thought it could have been done a lot better.
Like when he smacked the people on the head, what I'm saying, to knock them out. I thought that was the silliest thing, because it was like he was barely tapping them and then they were falling out like they just got punched, but then there was other times where he just like totally rocked people, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It was all in the writing and the direction, man. Maybe it was less writing and more directing.
And the crazy thing is, I thought he did great, like his the first season of Jessica Jones, even though it was a very small, minuscule part. That, and even the first season of Luke Cage, I thought he did well, but I don't know, man. Maybe it's probably just the writing and the way it was directed. I don't know. I think it's
a lot of both, and I think the other thing was, they're trying to I think mimic the comics. That's what it seems like. They're trying to mimic the comics a lot, but then add in some new flavor to it. So I think that's also added to it. And I don't know, man, the ending, I mean, I can't remember, the full story, after he sort of finishes dealing with Mariah. I didn't know that he took over Harlem's Paradise and make it King's Paradise or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you who I didn't like, though. The girl that played Mariah's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what her name is, and I don't have anything against the lady as a person. I just don't like seeing her on camera. Like, she never seemed like genuine or good. Like, I don't know. What's her name? I'm looking to Tilda.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't know.
It was.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't have anything against the girl. I don't know, man. She's just sort of,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I just have to see him in a different type of movie. Maybe later on, if he gets anything in the works.
He has, let's see here. So he has 2 movies in the works right now. So 3 movies actually. One's in post-production called Skin. Another one is filming called Breakthrough, and another one is filming. It's called Stupid Happy. So,
all right.
Skin is supposed to come out later on this year. Destitute young man raised by a racist skinhead and notorious among white supremacists turns his back on hatred and violence to transform his life with the help of a black activist and the woman he loves. So, I'm sure he may be the black activist. So that may be similar to One Note, it may be similar to Luke Cage, how he's the, black savior of Harlem. Breakthrough. When he was 14, Smith drowned in Lake St. Louis and was dead for nearly an hour. According to reports at the time, CPR was performed 27 minutes, no avail. And then the youth's mother entered the room, praying loudly. Suddenly there was a pulse and Smith came around. So let's see here. That's that Breakthrough movie that he's in, right? And then let's see here. And he's not playing Smith. He plays Tommy Shine. I don't know who that is. And then Stupid Happy. A pair of sisters found out that the mother they thought was dead is alive and starring on a soap opera. So, so he plays, a character in that. So, yeah, man. That stars Judith Light. That's random. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Mike Coulter does, and there's a lot of actors that we'll see, where they go from there. I mean, Shades, we saw him in what was that movie about the motorcycle, or not the motorcycle?
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. He played in what's that Lowrider movie? That Lowriders. I think that was the name of it. That was a decent movie. He played an alright character. I mean, it was different than Sons of Anarchy, but
Yeah.
And I guess Shades is like a combination of the two. So
yeah. I'd like to see him do something. Do something else. I'd like to see Simone Missick. See her in something else and see where her character growth goes. And see how different she is. As well as a lot of other people. So, yeah, man. I want to see Rosario Dawson on something else again. Come on, Rosario. Where you at? Where you at, Claire? They sent you away, so we need to see you somewhere else, girl. Let's see here what she got going on. So, let's see here. Wow. Jay-Z Family Feud featuring Beyonce. So, I guess she was in that video. Battle Scar. That's a movie that's supposed to either came out or will be coming out. Sorry to bother you.
Still got to see that.
She was a voice in that. Jane the Virgin TV series. Yeah, I haven't seen that either. Let's see. Death of Superman. She played Wonder Woman in that. That's dope. Briar Patch. It was just announced. TV series. So I guess they're doing a pilot coming soon. Someone Great. Post-production. Henchman in post-production. And a TV series called Weird City, also in pre-production. So we'll see Rosario Dawson again soon. There you go. Can't wait. All right, cool. Dang. Let's get on to this. Let's get on to this commercial break, and we'll be back to to talk about some other fun stuff, confessions, and relationship advice, etc.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, host of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. While you're taking your break, using your hooks, rubs, and spices on your love boxes and everything, tapping them oh so gently and vigorously at the same time, I want you to tune in on iTunes, Stitcher, and everywhere else that you listen to your podcast and check out the hashtag Blackout Podcast. Why? Because we blacking out.
Hey man, it's Chuck. We from the What Up Man podcast, and we ain't out here slanging and banging and doing wild shit, fucking with bitches and big ass white girls. We listening to the hashtag Blackout Podcast, and you should too, you degenerate bastard motherfuckers.
Hey folks, it's me, Big D.
And me, Little R.
From the Bro Rons podcast, and you're listening to Jared and Jay on the incredible hashtag Blackout Podcast.
So when you're done here, check out the Bro Rons podcast.
You can find us on Podomatic, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Cornucopia Radio. Now back to hashtag Blackout. And remember to tap your love box, baby. Oh yeah. I just sound like a creeper.
Shoot. Damn it, I gotta get my fingers up out this love box, y'all. But yo, anyway, this your boy the mayor, that DJ named Ace 5, your mom's favorite fat guy from deepest, darkest Africa, host of the Star 5 podcast, and you're listening to my people's hashtag Blackout Podcast. Now let me get back to tapping up this love box over here.
All right, guys, we're going to talk to y'all about hooks, rubs, and spices. Jay, what you think about hooks, rubs?
I love hooks, rubs, and spices. I put it on everything that I grill, all my veggies, everything that we cook inside our house. Hooks, rubs, and spices is the one that we go to.
I'm sure you put it on just about everything you put in your mouth, right?
That's pretty much accurate. Yep.
Man, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices has 4 great flavors. The Mad Cow, the Smoky Burn, the Lemon Pepper, and the fan favorite Smoking Sweetness. You can find them at etsy.com/shop/Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. You can also find them on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram at Hooks Spice Rubs. If you go on there and place your order, use the code MyHooks10. You'll get 10% off your order. So yeah, go on and check out some Hooks Rub. Hashtag We Smoke Meat.
Hey everybody, so if you check the link in the description, you will see a link directing you to
Amazon Prime is great because you get free 2-day shipping, free Prime Video, Prime Music, and access to all the Kindle owners' learning library. So like anything, if you're a Kindle owner, you can just download as many books as you need with that Amazon Prime trial. And yeah, like you said, it's free. It's a 30-day trial. So when you get to day 29, day 30, and say, this may not be the right thing for me, go ahead and tell them you don't want it anymore. But if you do love it, if you order a lot of stuff from Amazon, like I do, it's great for you because it gives you that free Prime shipping and you get one-click Amazon Prime ordering. So pretty stinking amazing.
So everybody go ahead and check the description for the link to 30-day free trial to Amazon Prime.
And we blacking out.
All right, people, welcome back. We're about to get into some steamy hot confessions. And if you want to leave us a confession, anonymous, or leave your name, call 385-3BLAKPC or 385-325-2572.
Confession.
Or you could type out a confession to us at #blackoutpie@gmail.com. So let's get into these steamy hot confessions. Let's see who has something to confess. Take it away, Jared.
All right, here we go. So thank you to Bootleg Usher, for singing that Confessions Jam under Jay's name.
Call him Busher.
It's Busher. I think Busher and 27 Savage should do a screwed and chopped version of Confessions. It's just me. All right, here we go. And find 26 Savage off wherever he's been and give him a feature verse. All right, here we go. First confession. 3, 2.
Y'all, I got a confession. This is me, Memphis Diva. Y'all cousin from Memphis. So one day I was rushing, and I went into Walgreens, and I needed to buy some deodorant and something sanitary for women. And I was rushing, and I had picked up a few things. I had put the deodorant right under my arm, like to hold it. Then I had something in my hand and something else in my other hand. So I was running late for something, and I went to the cashier to pay for what I had in my hand. Real talk, I forgot what I had under my arm. Get outside, nothing, walk through the door, nothing. I didn't pay for the 2 things I had in my hand. I'm not thinking. And I walk outside and get in the car. When I open the car door, the deodorant falls from under my arm. I said, Lord have mercy. I didn't took these people deodorant. What should I do? I was too embarrassed to bring it back in. So I took it home and used it, and it was great. So that's my confection. Did I say confection? I'm half asleep. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later about how I cussed the man out that jumped in front of my car. We'll talk about that later.
All right. Thank you, Memphis Diva, for your confession. So yeah, Jay, for some reason I think she told us that story before.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
Maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, man, what should she do? In that situation, she accidentally took something. She's already in her car driving away or whatever. Like, what do you do, man? What's your play?
Yeah, I mean, if you're driving away, just say, "Oh well."
Get him next time.
I got you next time.
Right.
So that's about it. That's about all you can do. I mean, or if you like super honest person, you could try to go back and say I accidentally had this on me while I was rushing out the store, but I don't know, that might not look too good. Yeah. So I just say keep it. You'll get them next time.
Yeah, keep it. You'll get them next time. Just enjoy that accidental free deodorant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, that's good advice. Here we go. So second confession we got from Twitter, anonymous. Hashtag confession. I'm a grown man. I go walking in the morning before work. Recently, I was walking and listening to my favorite podcast in my own world. Then I heard somebody talking, like they were next to me. I didn't think anything of it and just kept walking, kept listening. A few seconds later, I heard it again, but louder. So I just sort of turned and looked over my shoulder, and there was a 275-pound guy with long mauve-colored hair under a helmet mounted on a bike behind me. Like, right behind me. He said, "Pardon me." And I jumped like a scared blonde white lady in a horror movie. I stepped to the side, and he passed by saying, "Toodaloo." I was shook. And I stopped and laughed to myself. I was a scaredy cat. Hashtag confessions.
Who still says toodaloo?
I don't know, man. But can you imagine, though? Can you imagine, like, being jogging or running, down the path or whatever, and then, like, some humongous dude on a mountain bike or whatever, like, pulls up behind you and is like, "Pardon me." Toodaloo.
Like, you could imagine Debo riding up on the bike, hear that little squeak, and then he passes.
Man. But the thing that got me was the dude was so big and he had like long mauve-colored hair. Wow. And he was wearing like a bike helmet. Wow. I wonder how long that dude was behind that guy who was walking, trying to get by him. Have you ever been like listening to something in your own world, maybe like with your headphones or earbuds in, and then like somebody been trying to talk to you for a while, and maybe it startles you, or maybe they finally say, "Man, I've been trying to talk to you for like the past couple minutes, and you haven't said a thing." Like, you ever done that?
Oh yeah, all the time at work. Yeah. I get to work, I put in my headphones, and I just zone out for the rest of the day and do my job. And sometimes there'll be meetings behind me at the conference table. I don't know, and people like supposedly calling out my name to come join. I'm just sitting there with my headphones in, and then they just like scream out at me. So yeah, it's all the time, man. I don't feel like getting into the whole corporate cubicle life, chatting and stuff. I go and do my job, and I get out of there.
Yeah. So based off of what you said, is your desk office inside the conference room?
No, what we have is like it's like a whole bunch of cubicles, kind of. So I don't have like an actual office. I probably should. So it's like, let's see, 1, 2. It's probably like a total of 9 cubicles, kind of like in a circle, maybe.
I got you. That makes sense.
And then in between there is like a big conference table, just in case we need to have like meetings and stuff like that. So,
okay, that's cool.
It's not really.
Well, cool. It makes sense. At first, I was like, hold on a second. That's weird, dog. They did you like Homie from Office Space, and they put you in a place. They put your desk in a place where it shouldn't be.
I wish they could put me in a little secluded place, man. I wouldn't mind that.
Have to burn down the building. Okay, all right, that's cool. Here we go. So here's the next anonymous confession. Hashtag poop confession. Okay. So here we go. So when I was a little kid, I would take a shower at night. Sometimes I would either rush in to take the shower before going to the restroom, or I'd be too scared to sit on the toilet because I thought a hand or a snake would come out and grab me because I watched too many horror movies. So sometimes when I was in the shower, I had to pee or I had to poop. So just like any other little kid, I would pee in the shower, go down the drain, finish my shower, be done with it. Times when I had to poop, though, when I could have easily just got out of the shower, tracked water across the floor, hopped on the toilet, did my thing, then right back in the shower. I didn't do that. I squirted out the poop in the bathtub, and as the shower was going, I pushed it down the drain. I could have easily picked up that turd and dropped it in the toilet and flushed it right outside the shower, but nope, I didn't do that. I tried to hide it down the shower drain. Should I ever go back and tell my mom about this situation? Hashtag confessions. There you go.
Wow.
What do you say about that?
That was definitely a confession. Wow.
Wow.
I have never thought about doing that. That's I won't do that.
Did you ever pee in the shower?
Oh yeah, I peed in the shower before,
There you
but
go.
that goes right down. But you got to like squish. Hey, yeah.
But if you're a little kid, though, right? You're a little kid, right? Your mindset is different than an adult.
I don't know if I ever thought about dropping a deuce in the shower though. And when I was a little kid, I used to take baths. I was scared of the shower for some reason. Mm-hmm. But
I remember that. Yeah, you took a lot of baths. I remember that.
hey, man, we recycled a lot of water.
Yeah.
Everybody out there who, yeah, I'll get to that in the love box area.
Wait. You
Yeah.
recycle?
No,
You would take somebody else's bath
I would,
after they took their
bruh,
bath?
we had to heat up our water on the stove, pour it in the bathtub, mix a little cold water in there so it could be warm. I'd take a bath first, then my mom would jump in after that. And, maybe.
Did y'all have like a water heater issue or something?
No, I mean, that's just what you do when you broke sometimes. I mean, sometimes we didn't get I don't think we had a water heater until like a little later, but.
Wow, yeah. That country life.
Well, it wasn't really country. I mean, it was in the city, but, yeah.
Y'all were in the city of the country.
If you want to call it that, man.
That's
I guess coming from the big city, every place would be a country. So.
Not every place, but okay. Opelousas, like where you from? Opelousas. That wasn't the deepest of the country, but it was the city version of the country. There was some there. It was a city. Okay, so it was a city with country-like tendencies. How's that?
I'm not sure I know what that means, but I guess if you want to call it that, sure.
Man, y'all had civilization. Y'all had Taco Bell and Dairy Queen.
We had a lot of
Y'all
stuff.
had Checkers. You had a lot of stuff. You had Walmarts. You had all the AM, not the AM PM. I can't remember the name of the place now. But yeah, y'all had everything that you need. Y'all had Blockbuster Video. After you had like all the mom and pop video shops that were the better ones. You had a mall nearby. Within 20 minute drive or so. But no, man, it was the country. It was the city of the country.
Yeah.
It was like going to town if you live out in the sticks.
Yeah, I guess if you want to call it that, sure, go for it.
Whatever, man. It was a good city though, man. Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, yeah, man. Okay, so confessions are down. So if y'all have some more confessions, you want to be anon, or if you want to be heard, let us know. If you want to call in, not say your name, but give your confession, that'll work. If you want to write it in, if you want to DM it, whatever. We keep posting it on our Instagram and through our Twitter. So, we'll expect some confessions to come through. So let's see here. So now, now we're on to the relationship advice segment. So same place, Jay said, that you can call and leave your confessions. You can do the same for relationships. So here we go. Couple of relationship advice questions. So let's see here. Oops. So the first one is, it's titled "Boss is Pissed After I Ate Mini Muffin." We had a company picnic and food was ordered from a catering service. Before the event began, myself, and another coworker started eating one mini muffin. Supervisor walks by and yells at us and scoffs. He went and told the other supervisors and bosses. One of them comes back and tells us in the most stern and serious voice ever that we should consider not attending the picnic due to what we did. I already know this is going to be so awkward going forward. I'm probably going to apologize later, but I just want to know, is what we did so horrible? Also, how should I act when I go back to work? Please give me only serious advice. Really?
Okay.
Really? Like, for real? I don't even... Like, why is this in the relationship advice segment? That's why are you sending us relationship advice for this? Is this a confession that, like, I don't know.
Just tell you
before
about
the event
picnic.
began, right?
I'm gonna have a picnic at my desk.
Right? Yeah. Before the event began, they ate the mini muffin.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I mean, it's a company picnic, right?
Yeah.
Who should care? Maybe your boss is mad. Maybe you ate the one and only, blueberry poppy seed, lemon poppy seed muffin they had,
Damn, that's fancy.
And maybe that's what your boss wanted, and you were the only one who had that lemon poppy seed muffin. Maybe your boss does opium, and the only way to get their fix is to eat poppy seeds, handfuls and handfuls of poppy seeds. Mm-hmm. And so to do it on the low at work, he ordered one single lemon blueberry poppy seed muffin, and he was going to tear it up. But you ate it. Maybe that's what the deal is. I don't understand. I think it's serious. I mean, I don't know if this is a serious relationship question, but I'm gonna just say, you know what? Screw that. You go and you enjoy your muffins, and then go out and get your muffin top on with a man with a muffin top.
There you go.
Wow, that's very weird. All right, let's see here. Okay, here is another relationship question. Wow, this is a long one. Do I want to read this? Okay, here we go. My girlfriend hates that I play video games when I fall asleep.
Wait, stop right there.
Huh. Okay.
My girlfriend hates when I play video games when I fall asleep.
When she falls asleep, my bad.
Oh, when she falls asleep. Oh.
That would be funny. Okay, like most nights with my girlfriend, she was really tired by about 9 o'clock. I sat at my computer for 10 minutes and she ended up falling asleep. Things had been winding down at that point and we were both tired from a long day of hiking and going out to get dinner and drinks. I tried keeping her awake with no luck. Every time I had her awake, she instantly fell back asleep. It bummed me out, but I decided to play some video games since I couldn't wake her up to spend more time with her. I ended up playing games until about 11:30. When she finally woke up, she started lambasting me as I was playing video games with a friend at that point. I played the first hour alone and he just happened to log on when I was playing. At that point, I decided it had been a while and I would log off. So at this point, she started to become severely angry with me, saying that I never want to spend time with her. When I say that I tried to wake her up several times, even an hour into playing before my friend joined, I tried waking her up again. She said she was tired. We said we love each other and had a great time during the day. From here, the situation escalated. She told me that I never want to spend time with her, that I don't love her, that I always choose games over her and want nothing to do with her. Naturally, I protest. I protest that and say that I wanted to spend time with her doing anything, watching some Netflix, playing a board game, hanging out, listening to music. Mind you, it's late, but I really would do anything with her. At this point, she decided to make fun of the shirt I chose to wear out for the night, claiming, "I can't believe I wanted to get in a dress tonight when you were wearing that shirt." The funny part is, I was planning to change into a nice polo style t-shirt until she had stormed into the bedroom earlier during the evening and ripped her dress off, claiming that we weren't going to a nice enough place to wear the dress. So I kind of said, okay, well, if you're not going to get dressed up, I'll just wear a t-shirt and shorts. At this point, the argument went in circles for about 10 minutes before I said I think we should go to bed because we weren't resolving our issue. It was a lot of yelling about my perceived failures that night and in our relationship. I told her that the things she was saying hurt me and that I felt the majority of what she was saying to me was to hurt my feelings. I told her I love her and I want to work on things that might be issues, but that I didn't think playing games after she fell asleep was a big deal. Now, if you're at this point, I just want to say thank you for reading. It gets worse though. When I tried going to sleep for the next 2 hours or so, she would come into the room and turn on the lights and begin to berate me for what happened earlier. She then sent me angry text messages in between waking me up and calling herself a video game widow. I'll be honest, I play video games for about 10 hours a week on average and do not find it to be a huge detriment in my life. I don't miss work. I get all household chores done. I don't let it affect time with my friends, family, I think. Any and all advice appreciated. Thank you for reading. All right, man. All right, dog. What you got to say about this? This is ridiculous.
I think it is too. If she sleep and you up, why not play video games? You know,
right?
I mean, it seems like y'all spend time together when she's awake.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think she just need to either ease up or I don't know. Y'all got to come to some kind of understanding, man.
Let her go, because you're gonna keep doing this, right? Like this is your thing. This is what you like to do.
Did they say how long they've been in a relationship for?
No, he didn't say how long he's in a relationship, but I mean, apparently she doesn't like it when he, he doesn't like it when he does that. I don't know, man. I just got to say that if she has an issue, like it seems like there's more to it than just that. It seems like she has something else going on. Maybe she has an ulterior motive. Maybe she is trying to break up with him and she's just picking on this one thing. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to like find a way, roundabout way to tell him, hey, I'm done with you. I don't like your video game play. Maybe, there's a lot of girls who don't like video games. Don't like it when you play video games, but so maybe she has an issue. But my thing is, the chick fell asleep. He tried to wake her up a couple of times, according to his story, She didn't want to wake up. So he's like, all right, I'm play games. I'm still awake. I'm not tired enough to fall asleep. I'm going to play games. And yeah, she got mad at him. I mean, I'm going to say this. Okay, I still play games. Obviously, we talked about that before. Most time I play is on Sunday nights after everybody's asleep. My wife always goes into her own little world, her own little shell. She starts reading a book or something like that. So that's like her time alone, at night, her time at night. Before she goes to sleep, she knows that I go and play video games, Like we've resigned to the fact that that's what we do, And I won't play. I mean, there have been some times where I've played a few hours with friends. And there's been some times where I just play for 10 minutes. There's some times where I don't even play, just because nobody's on and I like to play with some friends. And Jay, if he ever comes back to play again. But yeah, man, I to be honest, I mean, I don't know. I think it's an issue with her. She sounds like she's a little high maintenance to me.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know if maybe she likes to play games and maybe she's just mad that you're not playing the games with her that are games that you guys can play together, or maybe, she's mad that you're not inviting her to play games. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It just seems sort of silly to me.
Maybe that's the solution. Maybe you should, when y'all both up and awake, then test her and ask her if she wants to play a game with you. Yeah. Maybe she might like it. You never know. She'll probably want to stay up late nights with you and jump on some PUBG or something or some Fortnite and throw down with you. So I don't know. Maybe test her and see if she wants to play with you. So.
Yeah. So it's funny because I read. I don't know. He has like a little addition. He says, Unfortunately, it's a common occurrence for us. She falls asleep around 9. I play games for a bit, then we basically flip a coin. Some nights I'll wake her up as I'm going to bed and she's tired but no issues. Other nights I'm the asshole who plays games and doesn't love his girlfriend or like to spend time with her, even though we just spent 3+ hours of a weeknight together, or in this case, a whole Saturday. Wow. I don't know. It just seems weird. You already know what to expect, it sounds like. Maybe she has something else going on in her life, and that the anxiety from that, actually, causes her to, react to you. Maybe it's something with work, maybe there's something going on, where she needs you to ask her to talk to her. Hey man, what's the deal? Cause you don't really always have an issue with this. Every now and then you do, but I don't know. Whatever, dog. So let's see here. We have one more relationship advice. Wow. Okay. My brother cheated on his wife. What do I do? I am super close to both of them. His wife is the reason I was able to come out to my family, friends, and society, and she's always believed in me. She's the sister I never had and always wanted. He, my brother, has always been there for me when it mattered, and he's my brother after all. But I was also cheated on by my partner, and he knows what that means to me. She loves me, the wife loves me, and she's leaning on me for support, which I'm giving because I've been there. I know what she's going through, and I want to help walk her through it. Am I wrong in also trying to be there for him too? What do I do?
So she knows that the husband cheated.
Yeah, I guess it's already out there, right? That the husband cheated. So there you go.
Man.
Wow, man.
That's a tough one. All I can say is
gotta be there for both.
You gotta be there for both. Maybe make some recommendations if they see where their head is at, or they want to stay together, or if the wife wants to still be together. Then I don't know. Maybe try to recommend them some marriage counseling or something.
Yeah. This is the thing, man. Right? This is what's tough, right? So you got your brother, your blood person, your blood relative you grew up with.
Okay.
Obviously, you have a lot of love for. You have shared life experience. His wife, who apparently was supportive of you, when you came out, apparently has been supportive of you in a lot of different situations. And then the third thing to lump on top of all of this, you've been cheated on yourself. So, you have your own, I guess, PTSD, if you want to call it that, from that situation. So now you're trying to figure out who to be there for both. You sound like you sound like somebody who is, somebody who wants to be supportive of everybody. You got to think of it like this, though. Your brother made the decision to step out on his marriage, step out on the his wife, his family, whatever. His promise to keep that bond. That was your brother's decision. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He thought with his head down there instead of his head up top. Maybe there's something more to the situation. Maybe the wife did something to make him do that, but really, he was the one who did that. The good thing is, like, your family, most of the time, you can talk to them and tell them what they need to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If your brother and his wife are trying to work things out and stay together, or if the wife is still like sort of in one of those places where she doesn't know what's going on, but you value her just as a friend, if nothing else, you be there for your friend. You tell your brother what he needs to hear. You can be there for both of them. It's going to be difficult though, because you're playing both sides. If they both have different opinions, that's going to be the hard part.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
no. Tough one.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one. But you know what? Between the two of them, you will find the one that, you want to be the most supportive of. And you'll also find that, you'll find the balance. You'll find the one that you want to, or you'll find a way to really speak to both of them in the way that they need to be spoken to,
right,
and support them in whatever they do. If the wife decides to leave, you could still be her friend outside. You know, it'll be awkward. You know, if you're ever in a situation with your brother and the ex-wife, but you know,
yeah,
you got to do what you think is right. So,
for sure.
For sure. All right, cool. Well, I think that's it for relationship advice. And yeah, send those in. Thank you guys for that. And yeah, now's that time when Jay cues the music, that careless whisper from George Michael.
That we hadn't got copyright strike.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as we don't get no copyright strike on it. And yeah, I tell you to, tap your love box.
Tap it. Tap
it.
All right. If you think the French Open is crazy for trying to ban Serena Williams' catsuit that's been created by Nike to help provide some medical relief for Serena, tap your love box. That ain't right.
Is this medical relief post baby?
Yeah, I believe she had like some, from what I have been reading, she had like some possible complications, maybe with like blood clotting and things like that. So this was designed to kind of help relieve some of that clotting if it ever happened. So I guess some
it's like for blood flow. Yeah. Wow, that's insane.
Crazy.
This is what's crazy, because I mean, they could wear any number of like knee braces, leg braces, arm sleeves, leg sleeves, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, to also aid, but they can't wear a catsuit.
It's just probably it's the first time they're not, and maybe the French Open president, commissioner, whoever the hell it is, maybe he's just not used to seeing all that meat in a skin tight suit.
Man, I mean, they got some curves in France, but they ain't got Serena's curves. I mean, there's some that do. I'm gonna put that back, but not like that meat though. But maybe it's one of those things. Maybe it's tennis and golf are sort of like the quote unquote gentlemanly or ladylike games. You know what I'm saying?
So you gotta wear
sports,
little white.
Yeah. So maybe it's one of those things. But I wonder if she could wear the catsuit, under. Like she'd have a skirt on the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Or if she could, because the top would be like more of an athletic top, but then wear a skirt on the bottom, over her bottom. Because maybe what they ain't trying to see is that big old booty meat. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but yeah, man. Shout out to Nike for saying, if you take the superhero out of the costume, they're still a superhero. Shout out to Nike for that. Reaction. So, if you think it's dope that California is going to go back and overturn, all of the previous pot convictions, now that pot is legalized in California, tap your lip box.
Let's just hope other states kind of follow suit, but then at the same time they'd have to legalize marijuana. So, yeah, they would. Then that would take away money from the state because there's big business in prison. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you still gonna watch the NFL, even though ESPN has decided on most of their telecasts to not show the national anthem, tap your lip box. I'm still watching the NFL. I think what ESPN is doing is they're still going to show the national anthem on Monday Night Football, but if they have any like Sunday night games or future games like that aren't the regular, they're going to do that. And I don't think they've been showing them on any of the, or maybe it's like they're not going to show it on any of the sports centers, something like that. I heard that story this week. That was interesting. I'm still watching football though. Got my fantasy draft later.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've opted out to do a fantasy football this year.
You know what, Jay? I think your email address is still in this year's draft. You can just leave it on auto draft. That's cool.
Oh, is it? I didn't even get any emails about anything.
I'm 97% sure I sent you the email, but I may not have, so I'll have to check.
Yeah.
But if it isn't, you can take it off. Or I mean, if it is, then you can take it off. If it's, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just tired of fantasy football. I mean, sorry everybody out there who loves it, but I've just been doing it for so long. I'm just kind of
over it, huh?
Yeah, I'm over it. 10 plus years maybe. Yeah, I'm over it.
If they had a fantasy something else, what would you do?
Hell, I don't know. I rarely watch TV as is. I don't know.
There's a fantasy movie league out there.
I know. I saw B-Rob had his, and I actually signed up for it, but then I just completely forgot about it. And I was just like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not engaged in any kind of media or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah. Wow. Anyway.
If you think Terry Crews would be a better Luke Cage than Mike Coulter, tap your lip box.
I probably do.
Terry Cage.
Terry Cage. Damn. If you think Nicki Minaj is just a little butthurt by her not being on top anymore, tap your little box.
Game caught up to her, passed her by.
Yep, pretty much.
Wow.
Sorry, Nicki.
It's just not you anymore. If you think it's super petty for Nicki Minaj to call out Travis Scott's baby, not the wife, the baby, on his pre-album release promotions, tap your little box. I think that's going too low. Be the baby out of it. She just there because she a baby. She ain't got no say in the matter, and she cute. You know. If you hate the car buying process and the fact that it could take you 5 or 6 hours to go into a dealership and get yourself a new car, whatever you want, or a used car, whatever you want, it'll take you that long to get it. You ain't trying to be there that long, but for some reason, it always takes hours and hours. Tap your lip box. I don't know. I don't like it.
So
we had that experience recently. So.
Damn, that sucks, man. Well, did you guys get a car?
It was 4 hours. Yeah, it was 4 hours. We did get a new vehicle.
An SUV or?
It's an SUV. Is a Toyota Highlander.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So getting rid of the blue van.
Man, what kind of van? What did you guys have before? It was a Honda.
It was a Honda Odyssey. It's a very good van. I mean, shoot, at this point, it's 12 years old almost.
I'm actually thinking about getting a van, man.
Had 155,000 miles on it. It worked great. And it was a good people hauler. It was a good stuff hauler. Good for road trips. I mean, shoot, we went to Disney World and back from Texas. We did many trips to Houston and other places, San Antonio's. We drove here to Utah in it. And it performed great in every situation. Didn't really have too many issues with it. It was a good van. If I could go back now, I mean, it was really the choice between a Toyota Sienna and a Honda Odyssey when we broke it down. I love the Odyssey, and I think the bells and whistles on the Sienna and the fact that they put out a Swagger Wagon rap video at some point in time were both hilarious. I think with the entertainment for the kids, the Sienna might win over the Odyssey, but they were both really good vehicles. Both of those vehicles hold their value and actually hold up really well with a lot of wear and tear. So, but the Highlander, it's a new vehicle, the one that we needed for a long time. That Odyssey, like I said, it's 11 or 12 years old. It's I think it's at the point where it's about to fall apart. So.
Here's a question for you: do you have problems with men driving minivans? I know you. I mean, of course, your family has one, but did your wife drove it mostly, right?
What, the minivan?
Yeah, or did you drive it mostly?
I drove it mostly, actually, because initially, when we got it, it was sort of a both of us vehicle.
Right.
I worked at night, she worked in the daytime, and I would take the kids to doctor's appointments or to classes or to school or whatever they had going on. And then I'd pick them up. She'd come home from work and we'd tag team. I would go on to work in our other vehicle we had, and she would have it for the evening.
Oh, that was when you were...
That was really when we were in Texas. And then even when we moved here, I just took that to work because A, it was the older vehicle. B, I had to drive farther to work. And, we wanted to put more wear and tear probably on the older vehicle compared to the newer vehicle.
Yeah.
But then, as the kids got older and started playing sports and had more activities, it became the stuff hauler. It had all the equipment in it, everything like that. So, yeah.
So do you think it's an issue with a guy driving a minivan? Like I hear that at work all the time. Like guys are like, I never get a minivan. That's for women. I never get a minivan. I'm like, dude, minivans are pretty dope. I actually want a minivan. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I was one of those guys back in the day where I was like, nah, you ain't never gonna catch me in a minivan, right?
But you rocked that big van your daddy had, right?
Yeah, I did. That was my first vehicle, was a big Chevrolet custom conversion van.
That sucker was huge. You put a bed back there.
Yeah, and the backseat row folded down to a bed. They had a TV in it. It was the shaggin' wagon. You know what I'm saying? They called it the Big Blue Submarine. I loved it. But then, I got to the point in my life where I was like, nah, you ain't gonna catch me in no minivan because I'm not like a soccer mom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I guess I sort of became a soccer and football dad. And a gymnastics dad. My tune changed a little bit, but if I could have gotten an SUV instead of a minivan, I would have. But I tell you, man, for the comfortability and the space and the fact that we could fit 8 to 9 people in that minivan, like if family comes to town or something, it was worth it, man. It was worth it. So, so I say to you, if you are considering getting one, do your research. I think the best two on the market and that have been on the market for years,
the Odyssey and Sienna.
Yeah, Odyssey and Sienna. Do what you want to do, but then you just gotta think though, man. Are you gonna be that dude driving a minivan?
I don't care, man. Shoot. I know it's getting off on a tangent, people. It ain't no more tapping love boxes. It's getting technical. It's getting family oriented right now.
We've gone to the car show with these instead of back to the love box.
Yes, it's back to the love box.
Yeah. Go for it. Go. No. You were gonna say it, my bad.
If you think our president has no clue about America because he colored the American flag wrong in front of a bunch of kids,
No, he didn't.
So what are the stripes supposed to be? What are the colors of the stripes supposed to be?
Red and white?
Yeah, you're right. Red and white. But he colored it red, white, blue.
No. The stripes?
The stripes.
Is he French? Isn't that France?
I don't know, dog.
Come on, Trump. Like, come on, man. Or is that red? Maybe that's Russian. Red,
kids
white,
got it right.
Like
Mr. Trump kids. Mr. Trump got it right.
You can never trust anything this man says. Not a word. The thing is, in years past, we've always looked on the news and seen scandals in other countries and seen inept leaders in other countries. Not what we got right now. We got somebody who is, a reality star, for lack of a better term. Who's just reactionary. You know what I'm saying? He's reactionary. He's not, tactical. He's not, I think he is tactical just because he has, people say, hey, you should say something about this when this happens. That totally outside the realm of what he really should be talking about. He's not a good planner, a good person for the country, to lead the country. And sadly, there's going to be just a wasted 4 years, hopefully just 4 years in our history. Hopefully we move on to something bigger and better, after this. Man, unless they find a way to impeach him beforehand. We'll just be stuck with pins. It seems like a racist, misogynist piece of cardboard. So whatever, we'll see. Anyway, tap your love box if you think it's dope that a Los Angeles food truck stopped and sold food to people in traffic for half price. It was horrible LA traffic. They weren't going anywhere, so he just stopped, opened up shop, and started selling half price to people. Tap your love box on that. Tap your love box if you ever locked your doors when a white person passed by your car.
I have. That old lady passed by my car one time and I did click. And I looked right at her. Wow, that's funny. Yeah. If you think you're a cow after watching the Doja Cat Moo video, tap your love box.
A cow. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's silly, man. That's it. I don't know what she doing.
It's funny.
It's crazy. What part of the rap game is that though?
Actually, man, when you break down the lyrics, it even though it's like super stupid and silly, when you break down the lyrics, it actually kind of makes a lot of sense. But you'd have to actually look at it for what it is and not some my god, this is crazy. But yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Interesting.
Video's good too.
Yeah, that's cool. So here we go. So tap your love box if you going to buy Snoop Dogg's new cookbook that's coming. For shizzle dizzle, you got to drizzle. This olive oil.
Drizzle this olive oil izzle onto the
mac and chisel. My music. All right.
I don't know, man. I think I'm done.
Okay, tap your love box if you ordered your Fashion Nova men's jumpsuit, but what you thought you were gonna get versus what you got was not the same. You ordered a romper, and they sent you a mankini. Come on, tap your love box.
If you rock that mankini, tap your love box. Just balls out everywhere.
If you would rock that mankini, up and down the beach, up and down the sidewalk in just broad daylight.
If somebody gave you $100,000 to rock a mankini on the beach, would you do it?
Me?
Tax free.
Dog, yeah. What you talking about? Yeah.
Good answer.
$100,000?
Yeah, $100,000.
Just for like a day.
How about $100? $500.
$500? Yeah. Yes. What's your price?
$50.
Nah, I'm good. With 500 is my baseline. There's a bunch of things I in my mind I already can do with $500.
And they make you run down the beach just like Baywatch style.
Dog, you got me, dog. Pamela Anderson, just like her, bouncing. Let's do it.
Neon green mankini.
Stick in, 2 balls out. Let's go. I ain't even shaving, dog. Let's go get it.
Just bush everywhere.
Man, let's go. I ain't manscaping nothing.
Man. Wow. Yeah.
Balls out. Sun's out, balls out.
Balls out. Butts and guts.
Oh, butts and guts. There's a girl back in the day me and my friends used to call butts and guts. That tried to hook up with me. You can imagine from the name, butts and guts. She had a whole lot that she was working with that was flying all over the place. I wasn't about that life. Anyway, yeah, tap your love box if you was not about that life, or any girl that ever tried to hook up with you, especially one that you would sort of refer to as butts and guts. Yeah, tap your love box for Dave Chappelle for his 45th birthday. Happy birthday, Dave.
Happy birthday, Dave. All right. I'm out. I'm done. I got stuff to do.
Yeah. Well, tell the people where they can find us.
All right, people, you can find us Twitter, Instagram, #BlackoutPod, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spreaker. Possibly gonna find another place to host the podcast on. But yeah, anyway, email us topics to discuss. Email us your deepest, darkest secrets, something you want to confess, something you want to get off your chest. #blackoutpod@gmail.com. Or you could just call us 385-3BLAKPC. That's 385-325-2572. Put the little voice modulator that Ben Affleck had in his in those movies, those awful movies.
Yeah.
Do that if you want to remain anonymous. Yeah.
I'm black man. I'm black man. I'm black man.
All right.
So
all
stupid.
right.
All right then.
And if you're into gaming, like we said earlier, if you want to play some PUBG, what's that other game? Some what's that game? Fortnite. Why was I calling it Battle Royale?
I have no clue.
Fortnite.
Well, it's a Battle Royale type game.
Yeah, so Fortnite. You play Fortnite like everybody else does, or PUBG. Go to bossboxes.store. Get yourself a boss box with some good sticky grips to go on your controller, some snacks, some energy drinks, some other gaming accessories. Enter Blackout 10 in the checkout. Get yourself 10% off that boss box and just have fun playing with yourself, getting in touch and in tune with yourself, with your body.
Yes, indeed.
So, get in tune.
All right. I'm blacking out.
I'm blacking out too.
That's all I got. Peace.
That's all I got. Go play with yourself.
Play with yourself.
All right.